that's what I'm going to do with my content, man, because it's in my blood. I love it. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of my history, where I'm at now, where I would like to be at with my content, what I think about everything. Actually, I asked a question yesterday, what's my take on everything? It got me to thinking about what I want to do with my content, where I'm at, where I started, where I'd like to be. And just kind of put it all into kind of spectrum. But originally, I started off, I did used to stream on Mixer. So I've always playing games. Obviously, talk about where I started. We'll scroll back a little bit. Off as just a collector, man. Just a guy that plays games. Started collecting Funkos at a younger age. I've got my son, my beautiful Fia. But I just started off as a gamer, man, and collected a lot of content. Started posting on Instagram just because it was a thing to do. Never really took it serious. Always been a gamer. Started off with a small collection. Streaming requires a consistency to grow. And I ended up backing out of streaming because it started to become, because of the consistency it required, it started to become a task and not a hobby. This is what I want from the content that I'm creating now. I just want it to be a hobby. Post and talk about stuff that I enjoy on the side that separates this from being work related and feeling like it's a exhaust to do. I don't want to ever get into the point where I feel like this is messing with my financials, my career. Well, I always collected Pokemon cards. I always collected Funko Pops. Been a collector. Just always absorbed a lot of media. TikTok, Facebook, all the normal stuff. But then I started tapping into the YouTube world. And as I got into the YouTube world, kind of trying to find out why people watch so much YouTube and not understanding it, because I hadn't found my category yet. I think YouTube has a category for everybody, and it just takes time to find it because there's so much content on YouTube. But I started watching Destroying, actually. Incredible content. And what Destroying does, or what he was doing that I enjoyed, he would do one-on-ones in football, and he would host content that would just kind of just shows a lot of energy for me. And I started tapping in, man, and I really enjoyed it. I love the one-on-one plays, the compassion, the energy. But I started deep diving into Destroying's content. I started watching 1v1s on Destroying channel, absorbing so much of that, it started feeding me stuff that was kind of similar. And I want to say I ended up catching Nas video, and I started watching like 1v1 basketball, and there was a video. This video right here is what started my journey into the 1v1 scene. I was not a sports guy growing up. I don't have a sports background. I don't know all the terminology for sports. I'm still learning, absorbing like the 1v1 content, and I didn't realize at the time there were like different chapters or different organizations and different representatives. I was just following the Nas videos, and then ended up running across Ball is Life, OTD, the next chapter season going on, where it was like, leading into Nas and Friga facing off. And when I watched this, man, it just took my world into a different perspective. Like the pay-per-view for this, was to me like watching superstars and movies, and these people I started to kind of look up to in like a weird, you know what I'm saying? Like I get that social media thing where you like look up to people like, your favorite actors. These were my favorite people to me, you know what I'm saying? These were people that I felt like were stars, they were superstars to me. And that's kind of how I got started. I'd be at work watching it, and everybody at work would, hey man, what you watching? And I'd say, hey man, 101, and they asked me. And then my buddy Ty at work put me on to Keith here. Let's see, get it out the net. Or maybe he put me on to Get It Out the Net. But he was like, hey man, my man host just Get It Out the Net. And I happened to follow it, not knowing anything about it. I'm thinking it's like, just a basketball scene. I didn't know it was the exact same thing that I'm into. Specifically the 1v1 scene. I was watching on YouTube, and I'm thinking it's so big. Like, I'm thinking these guys are superstars. I'm not realizing how local the scene is. So I ended up tapping in, went to this event right here for my first event. And this was my first event I ever been to. Other than watching on YouTube, this was my first event. And that's when my passion creating content fell a little bit deeper. I was talking about the 1v1 scene and just posting clips here and there, giving my predictions. And then when I realized how small the scene still is, how much we got to grow, Going to this event was incredible, man. I enjoyed everything about it. I didn't post content on this one. I think I was still absorbing it, like understanding. And then I ended up going to the Friendly Fire event, and that's when I got a little bit more intact with my content. That's kind of where I'm at now. I'm going to local events, supporting them, specifically Get It Out the Net. There's also the Grease Factory. Get It Out the Net's local to Raleigh, North Carolina. But Grease Factory is also another one. I have not been to their event yet, but it's 2.5 hour drive. I'm just not a driver. I do not like to drive. They're going against the Blueprint next weekend. Obviously that's my nerd side, specifically because I've been into Pokemon. And if you're into Pokemon cards, Pokemon's atrocious right now. It's a terrible market. People are buying all the products, so you can't buy it and then reselling it at like a higher thing. You know, I've got my YouTube channel that I started up where I started doing reviews on 1v1 videos that I loved, like to talk about and to kind of share my perspective, my thoughts. And then, you know, I started making some anime clips and stuff like that. That's not too much. It's more about, I think my Instagram is more where I'm at. My YouTube is where I want to get more into. And then I'm just posting, you know, reviews of games that I'm watching, specifically anything I absorb, I try to react content to. For instance, the Summit, I talked about that. The Friendly Fire event too, I talked about that. Some of my YouTube stuff I repost. And that's what I enjoy. I enjoy talking about it after I've watched it. The reactions, not so much. Like my YouTube videos are probably second content. The thing I dig doing the most is getting on here and reacting to the single games and talking about them and giving my perspective, breakdowns, shout out my favorite players, and just reliving in the moment of watching it. That's kind of where I'm at and what I like. And then the other cool thing is about creating my content and where I'm at now is I'm also finding people that I enjoy that I'm supporting. L's from North Carolina, man. He just played on the Summit too. One, just running across, Get It Out the Net, supporting them. You know, that's been fun. But creating content has also led me to those events to meet players, for instance, that I really enjoy and games I like. Smirk, for instance, I'm a big fan of his game. I think he's incredible. I think he's good. I think he's got a lot of talent. But, you know, running across him, being able to support his career and seeing him early on and knowing he's got a bright future in the 1v1 space. Supporting people that are also going to be supportive of me, but finding things that I like individually. You know, running across Hoodie Kel. I knew about Kel before, but running across his brand, supporting him, and more locally, honestly, probably meeting other players. T-Bread, for instance, been incredible. Understanding some of the parallels and how small the community is. Running across people like Get a Bucket. Another incredible player's got a bright future, big representation of Get It Out the Net. Just played with Deep Hit a couple weeks ago, doing incredible. Big Shot Jobby, another incredible player I've ran across. That's the other fun part. I'm trying to find people that I'm saying like I enjoy about creating content is finding other and kind of shout them out in the video to show you what I like about them. But also some of the players, man. Jobby, he won me, man. He's incredible. Just talented it for the scene, from skills to just entertainment value. Following other people that do events, you know, outside of it, understanding how small the scene is, like going from Get It Out the Net to Grease Factory. I think Underrated Network's another one. Off the Heezy, which is Virginia. What I can support, where I can go, and understanding Tay's probably done some incredible shots, get some of the best pictures. Where was this at? These things are clean. What? Some ballers out here too, man. But she gets some of the cleanest visuals, man. I mean, it's talented it, man. So that's the other thing, is also supporting other people's content. Things I love about them and finding stuff that I genuinely love outside of just the scene itself. That's what I like and what I found, and where I would like to be with it is to be popularized enough to where when I'm posting content I can get engagement, but also help share the 1v1 scene. I genuinely enjoy everything about it. I love Next Chapter, OTD, Ball is Life, Get It Out the Net, local to Raleigh, North Carolina. If you love the 1v1 scene, you're in the Next Chapter, Ball is Life, OTD. This is local. Get in there, tap in, go support them. We've also got Grease Factory, Charlotte. Same thing, 1v1, growing. They're about to go up to the Blueprint League. If you're a big fan of the 1v1 scene, you know who the Blueprint League is. This Nas is on the event. Shout out to him. He's kind of what got me started. Off the Heezy is what it is. Off the Heezy, which is Virginia, I believe, is local. Still a drive for me because I think it's like a 3-hour drive, but it's local, North Carolina, right? Underrated Network, which I had seen some stuff. I think I've been following them for a little while, and I didn't realize where they were at. But they are doing an event. I believe I guess it's like Apex based. I'm kind of excited to go to. I'm thinking about going to next Sunday. I don't know what I'm gonna do because I wanted to go to the Grease Factory event. But I seen that they are replacing one of the players. I guess they had a game change, and one of my favorite players is going, the Beasky. I seen at my first event another good player that I think's talented. Obviously, he was on Hoop Dreams. He's actually on my page. He's got one of the best profiles. I mean, one of the best clips I've got. Those are my 4 local ones that I know about. But where I'd want to be is creating content to where it's growing and engaging. But honestly, I think I want to be able to go and support Get It Out the Net and figure out how I can help them grow so that I can become more of a part of the scene. I love the energy. And I don't know how I can support them. I've got to figure that out on my own, whether it's being a cameraman, a commentator, a clipper, extra hand on the scene. Whatever I can do to support these guys is kind of where I'm at. But at the same time, I can't put all my eggs in one basket. I'm just going to create content and see where it goes. That's where I'd want to be, though, is being a part of the scene in some kind of way, whether it be with them or anybody else. Figuring out how to help the scene grow, realizing now how much local it is, because it's in my blood. I love it. It's competitive. It's trash talking. It's respectable. It's a lot of stuff in there where people get tense, and it's all just basketball at the end of the day. It's competitiveness. It's everybody wants to be the best, and how do we do it? And that's what it is, man. I want to figure out how to be the best at what I'm doing. I want to figure out how to support the people that are local and make them the best at what they do. And that's what I'm going to do with my content, man. I hope to see you guys in the future. I appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.